I'm Sarah Smith, and I am the creator of Weddings on a Dime, and I'm so excited to have you here so that I can share some of my tips on how to have a wedding on a budget. And not just really on a budget, but really how to have a cheap wedding. That's really my goal, is to help those brides out there who just really want to have a beautiful wedding, but also save money. We're going to be talking about how to save money on finding your perfect wedding venue. If you could, please first subscribe down below and comment if there's anything else you'd like to see. All right, so let's just go ahead, dive on in. I'm so excited to share with you some of my ideas on how to have a cheap wedding through finding your perfect wedding venue. It doesn't have to be some extravagant place. There are so many places that you can choose from that can be almost free. All right, so the first thing I'd like to share with you today is having it at a church or your own church, for example. I had my wedding at my grandmother's church, and we were able to have it there for free because she was a member, and that saved us a ton of money because we were able to have a beautiful wedding venue for free. We wish that we had used more of the outside for our wedding, but we used everything inside because it looked like it might rain. But the outside would have been a pretty place to set up tables and take pictures, maybe set up a few places to take pictures. There are so many things that you can do. So with having the wedding venue at a church, there are so many different things that you can do. There are so many different rooms to use to get ready in. You've got a kitchen usually at a church where you can help prepare the meal or foods or appetizers you might have at your wedding. You've got a lot of things at your disposal. Another thing that really helped us save money by having it at a church was they had a closet full of decorations that they said that we could use. So we used some of them for a little photo booth at our wedding ceremony. We used several other things to help decorate our entryway in the ceremony. And I also had a friend who got married at their church, and they had it outdoors. And they used the chairs from inside the church and put them in rows, and someone made them an arbor. It was beautiful. It was right along, there was a forest right next to the church, so it was just a beautiful venue that looked like it could have cost a lot, but theirs also was for free because it was their church. And they had the they had the reception inside the building in their entertainment room. So it was just a nice, beautiful wedding while also being for free. So there's lots of different options. I know in your head sometimes you imagine this gorgeous tall building or a lake view or mountain view. You don't always have to have that. That's not going to be the main thing that you remember from your wedding day. And choosing a cheap venue can really help save you a lot of money down the road. So having it at a church, that's a great option, help to save money. Even if you don't go to church there, if you find a church that you like and a place that you like, it's probably going to be very cheap to rent it out for the day. I know we looked into another church and they were just going to have us pay, I think, $100 for a cleaning fee. Although we would have been fine cleaning up ourselves afterward. So there's lots of different options with picking a church that works out. So with choosing a church, you can have it indoor and outside, which is great because if you aren't sure what the weather is going to be like, then you could very easily move your ceremony inside, because the ceremony, that's an easy thing to decorate very cheaply and quickly. If you needed to do a quick change, you could put it in the assembly hall. You've got an aisle, pews, you're good to go. And then your reception could be in the same spot as long as you weren't planning on having it outside. All right, so the next venue that I had an idea of is someone's backyard. I have lots of friends who've gotten married in either their own backyard or someone that they knew who lived out in the country and had a lot of land, or lives next to a forest, so they've got some trees where they just put up a little aisle. So there's a lot of options there too. My best friend got married in her own front yard because they had a big pasture land. They just brought chairs that they had from church and they set up a little stage to dance on. So it was really sweet, and I mean, they had it for free because it was in their own front yard or backyard. So if you know of anyone who maybe lives out in the country, a friend, family member, that's something that I might look into because it's a great way to save money. You could have it for free. You could even rent chairs. You'd have plenty of money left over to rent chairs, tables that you might want to make it look prettier. If you don't really care about that, there's lots of fun DIY things you can do to an old chair to make it look nicer. You can get a chair cover or decorate it with a little sash to make it look a little bit cuter. So there's lots of ideas that you can do within that. In having it in someone's backyard, you won't have a place to automatically switch the wedding inside. So if you do that, that's something you need to be careful with, watching the weather to see what the weather is going to be like, and if you would need maybe a tent, because I know those can get pretty expensive. So that's something to look into. You want to make sure the weather is going to be nice if you choose to have it outside wedding. All right, so the third wedding venue that I had an idea to save money is having it at a summer camp. Usually summer camps let you rent out maybe their cafeteria hall, which usually looks pretty nice, not just like a normal cafeteria, or having it outdoors at some area. And that can be pretty cheap to rent out. Usually most summer camps, they want people to come on their off season so that they can get at least some money. So I know lots of friends, my brother got married at a summer camp, my cousin, I know lots of people who have, and it's a super cheap way, and it could be a very beautiful place to get married. I know my brother, they had a huge pasture in the background. They got married right by this huge tree that they draped this pretty white fabric over, and it was blowing in the wind, gorgeous. And there was a barn that they let them have the reception in. It was beautiful, great for dancing, everyone greeting each other, for pictures. Immediately they went to the pasture and took wedding pictures. It was just so gorgeous. And the same thing for my cousin. They got married in the gym and they decorated the ceiling. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. Because they had it at a location that was free for them, they had money left over to be able to make the place look so pretty and like a ballroom. They draped fabric across the ceiling of the gym, and the floor already looked normal. Like, it looked fine. It didn't look like a gym floor. I think it was just concrete. And they hung lights all around. It was gorgeous, dangling lights to the floor. Oh, it was so pretty. So if you save money on your location, which usually wedding venues are thousands of dollars. So if you save that money, you might have a little left over to help to decorate and make the place look like how you imagine your wedding venue to look like. So having it at a summer camp is a great way to save money while also having it at a place that might have memories for you. If you went to summer camp, I know a lot of people like those memories. Maybe you met at summer camp. So that's one option to think of to save money, where you could have it for free, or the cost will probably be significantly lower having it at a summer camp than having it somewhere else at a regular wedding venue. Now, not all summer camps will have an availability for weddings, but I know most summer camps like to have people come for retreats or doing a wedding to help get some money during their off season. All right, so my fifth place that I have for a cheaper wedding venue is having it at a state park. Now, not all state parks will offer you to have a wedding there, but I know there are some that do offer and have a place to have a wedding at, and their costs are very low for renting out to have a wedding. One of our coworkers got married at a state park. It was beautiful. It was a small area. They wanted a small wedding. So if you're wanting to save money and having a smaller wedding, that's one option to look at. They had a beautiful location over a lake, and they were able to eat indoors and outdoors. Everyone had the option because it was beautiful weather. So if you have a state park that you and your fiance love to go to, I would check in and see if maybe they do offer to have a wedding there, because I know there are some state parks that offer for you to rent out their pavilion or a certain location to have a wedding. So that's one thing to look into and check, but check ahead of time because, as I said, not all parks may offer that. So make sure you call ahead and meet with the state park as well in person and work out any details. I could see a state park being a really fun place to get married at. Make sure it's not too far from where you live, because you want to be able to go and check it out and be close to, if you need an emergency decoration, it's not too far to go and get decorations or food. You also want to make sure that there are restrooms for your guests. You don't want it to be an inconvenience if someone needs to go use the restroom. You want to make sure that those facilities are close by for anyone who may need them. All right, so my last place for the day, the number 6, is having it at a regular wedding venue that you may find that's meant for weddings, but choosing a day that is cheaper and for fewer hours. I know lots of different places, the cost varies based on how long you're going to be there. Most people like to set up the day before, so that's 2 days you have to pay for. Now, if you don't have much to set up and you're okay with having it for the day and you know you could set everything up within that time frame, then renting it for just one day will help you save money. I know most people like to have it for multiple days. That way they'll have time to clean up, set up, and for their regular wedding, I mean, some weddings could last a long time. So it's just up to you if you're wanting a shorter wedding and you know you could clean up quickly, set up quickly, then you can choose the fewer hours. And also to save money, I know they have certain days available that are cheaper because it's a time where most people don't prefer to get married on. I know most people like to get married on either a Saturday or a Sunday, the weekend, but I don't know if some places may offer a weekday or weeknight that is cheaper, that you know that your guests can come to. So if you have a wedding venue that you really like, but you aren't wanting to pay as much, that is one thing to look into. Look for other dates and times that might be available that are a cheaper rate, because most people don't want them on that day. So those are all my tips for today. I hope that you got something out of this video. If so, please comment below and hit the subscribe button to see more of my videos, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.